We are back with another episode of Healthy Thriving Family After Divorce. Stephanie Dobson is with me once again. Stephanie is a collaborative lawyer, mediator, and educator at Hanka Divorce Law and Mediation here in Lloydminster. And Stephanie, it is the holiday season, and I can't believe that we're talking about Christmas. It seems like it was just Halloween, but we're going to be talking an upcoming series about families who are basically split and have to deal with different things over the holidays, which, as you know, can be tough. So let's get into it, Stephanie, and talk about what we're going to be looking at here over the next few weeks.
Sure. When I was thinking about our series and what we could do for December, I thought I'd break it down into really the stages of separation or divorce so that we could reach as many families as possible. So in our segment today, first, we're going to be talking about families who are still living under one roof, but who may be considering separation or divorce. Next week, we'll be talking about families who have recently split up. So they are likely going through their very first holiday in two separate homes. And then finally, in week 3, we're going to be talking about families who have been split for a while, may have had some successes and some challenges in the past, and want to improve upon those. So much to talk about. So let's get started with, I thought we'd do this in a top 3 tips type of format for today for families considering separation.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's start with tip number 1, which basically is, and this is a tough one, but keeping the household as stress-free as possible.
You're right. That one is a big one. So when parents, really couples or parents are considering a split, there's usually a heightened degree of conflict in the household. This is just the nature of that particular stage of the breakdown of the relationship. It may have been conflict for quite a while and it's sort of ramping up. It's really leading to what the parents think of as the end of their relationship. However, for the kids, the holiday memories are filled with different things. They're filled with visits with extended families, cousins, planning for Santa's arrival, looking at the Santa tracker, making wish lists and fulfilling others' wish lists, giving and receiving, and other sort of traditions. So no doubt your kids, of course, are going to feel that added stress in the household. The best gift, in my opinion, that you can give to your kids is to reduce or pause that parental conflict and allow them to enjoy their traditions. You can pick back up with things in January and make more long-term decisions at that time. If you and your spouse can't do anything together, and you can't really reduce that conflict, you may want to plan to do activities with the kids separately. So for example, one of you might enjoy some outdoor things, the other one might enjoy some indoor things, or some activities, separating up and taking the kids to each of their different special holiday gatherings for their activities. So if you can make it all about the kids and take it away from focusing on each of you with your conflict, that can be a great gift for your kids.
Well, and let's expand on that a little bit too, Stephanie, because just being together and having traditions and creating memories, that's often the thing that people will remember as they get older too. So let's talk about creating some lasting memories and traditions. What's a good way to focus on doing that?
If you're waiting for the holidays to pass before starting down the path of separation or divorce, you're certainly not alone in that. January, for our viewers, just so you know, it's known as divorce month. And there's a reason for that. It's when a lot of people decide to pull the plug on their relationship. If they're going down that path, they'll often wait until January and then start fresh, raising their kids in 2 homes starting in January or in the new year at least. So this holiday time may be the last time that the kids will experience this holiday season with the parents in one home under one roof. Next year they'll be creating new traditions, and we'll talk about that next year, at mom's house and then at dad's house separately. And this may come with some excitement, but also lead to some sadness with the loss of things that are familiar to them. So these memories that you create this year, just remember that they'll last a lifetime for the children. It may be their last time with their parents under the same roof. So give them as great traditions and memories as possible.
Well, and the last thing we're going to discuss today, Stephanie, is giving yourself some space, which could be the most important one on this list, because, if you aren't in a good space yourself, it's really hard to help others and the rest of your family. So let's talk about that, about giving yourself some space and the importance of that.
Yeah, absolutely, Stacey. So being in the midst of a high conflict household, of course, can be very stressful. It's easier said than done to put up smile on your face and to put up with that stress, knowing that there's a lot of conflict, knowing that possibly a separation is looming, but you're biding your time until after the holidays. So in the first two steps, I suggest biting your tongue per se for the sake of your kids and holding on to some traditions and to ensure they have the most special holiday period they can. But this tip number 3 is really more about being true to yourself and really what's happening with your life. Everyone needs space, and it's really important that each of the parents take time away from the family, really to release your stress in a positive way. This may mean scheduling time with the family, but also time away from the family. So let's think about some things you might want to do. You might want to go Christmas shopping on your own. No kids, no spouse, no anyone with you. Just go browse around, go shopping, window shopping or actual holiday shopping. You might want to take in a holiday movie. You might want to read a book at your local coffee shop, taking your favorite holiday drink, or maybe even taking a fitness class. So time away from the family and particularly your kids might be a way to help to show that healthy and resilient side of you.
All right, Stephanie. Well, some really good information and so much happening over the holidays already. It's nice to kind of have a plan in place and things that you can think about heading into Christmas this year. So thanks so much for joining us, and we will continue this topic next week.
Thanks, Stacey.